Hello, my name is Alex and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. And in this video, I am going to do a second part to my question and answer series. And the questions that I'm going to answer in this video are mainly to do with like living over here in South Korea, what life is actually like, and some like useful tips and tricks to help you when you eventually move over to here in South Korea. And if you haven't already, like, girlies, what are you doing with your life? Watch the first part of this video, then I will link it down below, the very first part of the question and answer series, where I mainly focus on questions that I've been asked to do with initially coming to South Korea and the very first couple of weeks when you get to the country. But like I said, this is going to be a video answering loads of questions about life over here in South Korea, so hopefully you find it useful. And if you have any more questions that I don't answer in this video, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I will more than happily help you out. And if you want to message me on Instagram as well, I'm more active over there, so I'll definitely get back to you if you drop me a message over there too. So let's get started with the video. Okay, so the very first question I got asked, getting straight into the deep end, is what is your least favorite thing about Korea? Oof, girlies, oh my goodness. So in terms of things I don't like about South Korea, there's quite a few things. I'm definitely not going to delve deep into them right now because I don't know how comfortable I'm feeling. However, the one thing that I am comfortable with sharing in things that I don't like over here in South Korea, and probably the number one thing is like spitting on the floor. And it's definitely a culture shock over here that I didn't really anticipate, and I knew it before I came. However, like the reality of spitting, like if you're older, you're younger, you're male, you're female, it doesn't matter. Like everybody spits on the floor here, and it's kind of one of those things that I'm just like, girlies, there's no need to spit. Like, what are you girlies doing? So that is probably the thing I don't like the most over here in Korea, because it's just like not needed at all. And also like the sounds that come with it as well. Like I just don't understand like how these sounds are made out of like human body. Like, girlies, stop. Like, no, absolutely not. Okay, so the second question that I got asked quite a lot as well is, are there any apps that you recommend for moving to South Korea? And if so, do you recommend any for transport in particular? So in terms of transport over here, the public transport system is absolutely bloody incredible. However, there are some apps that will help you and make it a lot easier for you. And the first one being Kakao Taxi. So if you are ever stranded, or if you need a taxi for like a night out or wherever, Kakao Taxi is going to be your best friend. It very much works like Uber over here. Like, Uber's not really a thing. However, Kakao Taxi is linked with your Kakao account, which is kind of like the WhatsApp equivalent back in the UK. However, with Kakao Taxi, you will need a Korean bank account and a Korean card to register your like details and everything. So if you are just visiting Korea, then Kakao Taxi is not going to be your best friend. However, if you are living in Korea, Kakao Taxi is one of a kind, amazing, and I definitely recommend getting that. And then for public transport over here, I would definitely recommend getting Naver Maps. Like, Google Maps is just not really a thing over here. Like, Naver Maps is the way to go. It mostly is in Korean. However, if you want to check like bus timetables, like your basic necessities of where to go and how to get you from A to B, Naver Maps is just gonna do you absolutely kindly. However, I do advise you get a basic grasp of Hangul before using it, because most things are in Korean, and I don't want you getting lost, girlies. And a final app that I'd recommend in terms of transport over here, if you wanted to book intercity buses to like Busan, Seoul, Daegu, or wherever else, I would recommend the TX Bus app, because this has everything you need to get you from like A to B to a different city, and it's all there on the system, and it's very cheap to use. It's very like, there's no extra charges for like using this app or anything, but I would definitely recommend TX Bus for intercity buses. Okay, so the third question that I got asked quite a lot as well is, what is the biggest culture shock when you move to Korea? Okay, so this is kind of like another thing that's kind of like a thing I don't like over here in Korea. However, the biggest culture shock personally for me is probably like the emphasis that Koreans put on beauty. Like, beauty standards are like on another level over here. I can't even compare it to anywhere else in the world. But the fact that people put so much emphasis on beauty over here, like, it's kind of like outstanding. And I really wasn't prepared for like how much people would like appreciate their appearance over here. And I did realise before coming, like, Korea was like the #1 plastic surgery place in the world, and it like definitely shows, because like a lot of people have got plastic surgery over here, and I'm not one for like judging like whatever, like it's absolutely fine. However, like, people are very, very focused on their looks, and me personally, like, I know I look gorgeous. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. However, people will tell you, like, if you look skinny, if you look ugly, if you look fat, like, they will explicitly say over here. And it's one of those things where I was just like, oh my god, yes, I am skinny, but you don't need to tell me every single second of the day. And also another thing that I've noticed as well with like beauty image and everything, because we still have to wear our masks at school, and a lot of the children like won't take off their masks to eat. So they'll literally like have it on the mouth and then like lift it up, eat, and then like put it back down. And to me that's like all about beauty standards and everything. Like they kind of don't want to be seen without their masks, and it's a really weird phenomenon over here, and it's definitely a culture shock that I'm still not really used to. Okay, the fourth question is, what is the biggest piece of advice for moving to South Korea? So I moved over here as an English teacher, and if I could give any piece of advice in terms of moving to South Korea, whether you're an English teacher or you've got another job elsewhere, is just to go open-minded. Like, I think the biggest thing is like, just don't have too high of expectations over here. Like, it is an incredible country. However, there are things that are going to be Korean surprises, there are things that you're not going to really expect, there are things that you are not going to expect for the better, and there's going to be things that you don't expect for the worse as well. So if you just go with an open mind, kind of expect nothing, then everything you gain from your experience is going to be a bonus in some way or another. Yeah, so just go open-minded, girlies. Okay, so another question I get asked quite a lot is, what is your favourite thing about South Korea? So actually, I mentioned this in my previous video about my favourite thing in South Korea. However, for sure, for definite, absolutely, completely, my favourite thing in South Korea is the changing in the seasons, the weather, and the appreciation of like natural beauty. Like, I'm so obsessed with like seasons over here. Like, it's currently autumn time, fall for all your American girlies, but it really just makes a difference like on my whole mood, the whole mood of like everyone else as well. And people just congregate together for like the appreciation of like seasons and natural beauty over here. And it's like a really one-of-a-kind thing that you're going to experience. And if you don't hear a Korean like mention like their love for the seasons, then I'm sorry, but they are not Korean. Like, you'll hear it every single day, like, that Korea has 4 seasons. And that is very much true. Like, I know back in the UK, like, it was very much like winter, and then a little bit of spring, a tiny bit of summer. Fall was kind of a thing as well, but then it was winter again. But Korea is very distinct seasons, and I very much appreciate that. So another question that I get asked quite a lot is, what is your favourite place to visit in Korea and why? Ooh, so in terms of places to visit, so I've been to a lot of places in Korea so far, which I've absolutely loved. However, the number one place that I have to say to visit in South Korea is Gyeongju. So for those of you that do not know Gyeongju, it used to be the capital of the Shilla dynasty over here, and it's like a 50-minute coach away from Daegu, so it's like perfect location for me. But it's like home to like loads of hanoks, a traditional village. They also have tombs, and it's very like authentic traditional Korea. And it has the most amazing coffee shops, it has the most amazing restaurants, and it is kind of everything you need and want in Korea and more. And like every time I'm there, like I pinch myself because it's so like dreamy, it's so like out of this worldy. Like, I would describe it as a kind of like mix between a Studio Ghibli movie, a Teletubbies land because of the tombs and the domes and everything, and just blatantly traditional, authentic Korea too. There is nowhere else like it in Korea, and if you ever get the chance to go to Gyeongju, I would 100% recommend it because you will not be disappointed. Okay, so another question is, do I use a VPN when living in Korea? Actually, that is so funny that you ask. So yes, I do use a VPN over here. I use NordVPN, and it works absolutely perfectly for me. I have it on my phone, I have it on my laptop, and it works really, really well for many different reasons. One of these reasons being that I can connect it back at home, so I can connect to like a UK server. I can watch like Netflix and YouTube from like a UK address, and it works absolutely fine over here. And it's also really good for like privacy and everything. All the privacy laws over here with like technology and stuff are quite different from that in the UK, and it's quite nice to have like a peace of mind, like knowing that like no one is spying on me or like tracking my data and stuff like this. However, I've got a gorgeous girly bonus as well. If you did want to get NordVPN, I will leave a referral link down below, because it gets you 1 month for free. And not only that, it actually gets me a whole 1 month for free too. So it's a gorgeous offer. I will leave a link down below. It won't cost you any extra. However, if you do go through the referral link and you do want NordVPN, then I also get a month for free too. So it's kind of gorgeous behavior, and it works both ways. So Thanks, girlies. Okay, so another question is, would you recommend teaching at Hagwon or EPIK? Oh, so again, I've made another video about this completely separately, and it goes into a lot of detail whether you should choose Hagwon or EPIK. I don't really like to tell people like what to do because it's all down to personal preference, and there are amazing things about both programs. However, for me, in my first year, I really wanted like the stability of having like a public school contract. So that's why I went with EPIK, and I really wasn't like too fussed where I got. I was very open-minded. I was very like, if I go placed in the countryside, I'd get placed in a city. These are the cards that I've been dealt, so I was very like open-minded of what I was going to go with. However, if you did want a bit more choice of where you wanted to teach, what kind of age range you wanted to teach, then maybe Hagwon is the route for you. However, if you did want to check out my video, it tells you all the differences between Hagwon and EPIK, and hopefully it will help you make your mind up. So another question is, are there any products that you would definitely recommend whilst in Korea? So in terms of products, oh my god, there's so many things that like I love over here and things to try. However, I'll probably break it down into like food, drink, and like a product that I use every single day. The first thing I'd probably recommend in terms of drink is soju. Oh, it's like a game changer over here. It's stunning. And for those that you don't know what soju is, it's kind of like a weak vodka, and it's like 20%. It's so cheap. It's literally like $1 for a bottle. Like, you're not going to pay any more than that. And it's absolutely, I'm not going to say it's nice, but it's quite easy to drink, especially if you put it with like a Sprite or a Fanta or a juice or something. So you get absolutely wasted for so little money, and it's one of the things that Koreans absolutely love. It's everywhere, and if you haven't tried soju, you need to try it. And in terms of food, I would probably recommend, oh my god, there's so many food choices. I would probably recommend trying tteokbokki. It's like a rice cake in like a very small cylinder shape, and it's like a rice cake. It kind of feels like a mozzarella cheese ball kind of vibe thing, and it's usually served in like either a hot sauce or like a creamy cheesy sauce, and you'll get it everywhere. You'll find it in most places here in Korea, and it's one of those things that I definitely recommend you trying because it's not going to be the same as if you were to buy it back abroad. And one thing that I would definitely recommend if you were to live over here, and one thing that is like an essential item I have to have every single day, and it's probably one of those things that's like, Alex, duh, of course you need that. However, in Korea, I've realised it a lot more, is sunscreen. Like I said, like Koreans are obsessed with like their beauty standards and their beauty image and everything like that. But sun cream over here, because like the UV levels are different in some way or another, I don't know, but I would definitely recommend using sunscreen every single day of your life over here, because honestly, the wonders it does to your skin, and it definitely is a game changer over here, and it's something I didn't really use in the UK, so yeah. Okay, so this is kind of like a question I've already answered. However, what is public transport like in South Korea? So public transport is absolutely amazing. If you ever wanted to get to like Seoul, Busan, Daegu, or Gyeongju, or wherever else in Korea, most towns will have an intercity bus terminal, so you don't have to worry too much about getting from A to B. In terms of like your basic, like your normal buses and your subways, they are very, very frequent, they are very, very cheap, and I would definitely recommend getting a TX money card. You can get them at most convenience stores, and it's kind of like an Oyster card in London, so you just like tap and you go. But everybody uses these here for like public transport and everything, and it makes your journey a whole lot easier. But yeah, public transport is amazing, it's cheap, and it can cover pretty much anywhere here in Korea. So one question I've got asked as well is, why did you want to teach an elementary school over that of a middle school or a high school? Girlies, I'm sorry, but I could not think of anything worse than to teach at a high school. I can't, like, I could not even think about like teaching mini disruptive like adults, basically. Absolutely not. If anything, I think middle school is probably worse. Like, I just feel like I just could not hack it. However, I personally find that I'm like a very big kid anyway. I have like the mindset of like a 5-year-old most of the time. And like I have a very lot of energy pretty much all the time. So I just thought teaching in elementary school was like perfect for me. And the fact that I'm actually teaching in elementary school, like I would not change it for the world. Like the kids are so cute. Like they are so cute. They are like more eager to learn, and I could go on about my love for like teaching in elementary school compared to a high school or middle school. But for me personally, like I just, girlies, I couldn't teach anything other than elementary school. If anything, I'd actually probably want to teach a kindergarten, but you can't teach a kindergarten with EPIK, so elementary is my next best thing, and yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So another question I've probably answered in like other previous videos as well. However, it is, what is the best thing about living in the countryside? So for those of you who don't know, I actually live in Daegu. However, I live in like the rural area of Daegu. So I live so far away from anywhere and anyone. One thing I absolutely love about living in the countryside is just like the beauty, the peace and quiet, the remoteness of it, but not actually being too remote that I can't get anywhere or there is nothing to do. But yeah, the natural beauty of it, oh God, I can't even fathom. Like I pinch myself every single day that I'm here. I'm just like looking at the mountains, I'm looking at the trees and the flowers. You're not going to get that when you live in the city centre. So it's one of those things that like nobody is really going to like travel out to my little area, but I'm always going to go to Daegu. Whereas if I like lived in downtown Daegu, like I probably wouldn't escape kind of thing, and I just kind of like fit into the bubble of like a city life. And like my home in the UK, like I lived in like Manchester, so like right in the smack bang in the city centre of Manchester, and it's a complete change to like anything I've ever experienced before. However, I very much appreciate like the slower pace of life, the beauty that is nature, and just the appreciation of just like everything and anything over here. So yeah, thank you for asking me that question, because I just can't express enough how much I appreciate the natural beauty of the countryside. So another question is, what do I do on a typical weekend? Well, girlies, thanks for asking. On a typical weekend, so contradictory to saying that I actually love the countryside, on most weekends I actually leave the countryside and I usually just go to like Seoul, Busan, Gyeongju. I much prefer like going like all out on the weekend and making the most of it. So in the Monday to Friday, it's very relaxed. I have a very chilled out Monday to Friday. However, come Friday evening, I am there. I am in Seoul. I'm in the club. I love like techno music, and techno music over here is on another level. Like it's so stunning, and I really appreciate like going to the club and everything. Oh god, yeah, just going to the club is what I absolutely love. However, also on a weekend as well, I've tried to avoid like going to all the touristy spots here in Korea. So for example, I've not been to like the DMC, I've not been to like Gyeongbok Palace in Seoul. But for me personally, I would rather experience like the smaller hidden away gems in South Korea and then experience all the touristy stuff whenever I leave Korea, wherever that will be. But yeah, on an average weekend, I will tend to go to a different city. I will check out some coffee shops, check out some cute cafes and whatnot, and just kind of just chill. And some weekends as well, like I will go off with my friends, some weekends I will be alone, and I very much got a good balance of like being with my friends but also being alone as well. And also now that it's full time, I absolutely bloody love the fact that it's colder and I get to go hiking again. My goodness, like I bloody love hiking, and that's another thing that I absolutely love to do on my weekends. And I've got one more question that I've been asked as well, and it is the best place to go for homeware when moving to South Korea. So homeware, there are many good places over here for homeware. So if you want to get like your basics, like your very basics for a very cheap price, Daiso is your like dream place to go. Like Daiso, I can't recommend it enough. It's incredible. Everything you need, it's there. However, if you want to go to more of like a warehousey everything kind of place, we've got IKEA over here, so there's many IKEAs. You can go visit one of those, or you can also visit like EMA or Home Plus. They have absolutely everything you need, from like homeware to food to electronics, you name it, they've got it. But also you can check out some more like independent stores. There's so many like cute little homeware stores as well. I personally like going to Modern House. We also have Muji, which has like incredible homeware stuff. So like in terms of homeware stuff, don't get worrying too much. Like you'll find like all little gems hidden around here, there and everywhere, and the choices are absolutely amazing. And if you wanted to order online as well, like Amazon isn't really a thing over here in Korea, but if you wanted to order off Coupang or Gmarket, there's plenty of options on there as well. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'm glad that you made it this far if you did, and if you didn't, then I'm sorry about that. Well, you won't be watching this clip right now, so I don't understand what I just said. And like I said, if you have any more questions in regarding to like life over here, or if you have any more questions regarding the first part of this video in terms of moving to South Korea, then please ask away in the comments. Absolutely no drama whatsoever. And you can always message me on Instagram too. And if you want to watch more of this content, then make sure you subscribe as well. But for the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you're watching this at night time, I hope you have a wonderful night. And I will catch you next time on this Gorgeous Girl channel. And I am now going to go and get a beer because it's Friday night. let's go. See you later. Bye.